Good morning everyone. My name is Pratiksha Kumar. So मैं आप लोगों की हिस्ट्री फैकल्टी हूँ. So आप लोगों की पढ़ाई कैसे चल रही है? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई जस्ट होप अच्छी चल रही होगी. So मैं यहाँ पे आप लोगों के लिए एक सेशन लाई हूँ. ये सेशन में हम लोग हिस्ट्री का कॉन्सेप्ट समझेंगे. उसके बाद हम लोग जो PYQs होता है, प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर्स होता है, वो हम लोग सॉल्व करेंगे. मतलब देखेंगे कैसा टाइप का क्वेश्चन आता है. जैसे आप लोग अभी प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, आप लोग हार्ड वर्क कर रहे हो, तो हार्ड वर्क के साथ ऑल्सो यू हैव टू डू व्हाट, यू हैव टू डू स्मार्ट वर्क. सो स्मार्ट वर्क कैसे होगा? जो जैसे आप लोगों का प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर्स है, उससे आप लोगों का स्मार्ट वर्क होगा. कि हिस्ट्री का सिलेबस हम लोग को पता है थोड़ा वास्ट है, पर हम लोग मतलब उस वास्ट सिलेबस को कैसे शॉर्ट डाउन करके एनालाइज करके आप लोगों को मतलब आप लोगों का हेल्प होगा, वैसे हम लोग वो शॉर्ट डाउन करेंगे. और आज हम लोग देखेंगे थोड़ा कॉन्सेप्ट के बाद हम लोग प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर जो है वो सब हम लोग मतलब देख के एनालाइज करेंगे. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट टुडेज क्लास. एंड आप लोगों को ये पता है कि हिस्ट्री का सिलेबस है ये कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स के लिए सब कॉमन सिलेबस है. लाइक जो CDS, NDA, FSET ये सब एग्जाम्स एंड अदर कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स के लिए भी ये सब बहुत common, matlab history is common, so it is very helpful for you to understand that in a particular phase. So let's start with the concept. So what is history? History क्या है? पहले हिस्ट्री को समझने के लिए आपको ये समझना पड़ेगा हिस्ट्री क्या है. सो हिस्ट्री इज द इवेंट ऑफ द पास्ट. जो हम लोग का पास्ट इवेंट है उसको हम लोग जो नॉलेज एक्वायर करते हैं वो इवेंट का, वो हिस्ट्री है फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. एंड हिस्ट्री इज डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम अ ग्रीक वर्ड हिस्टोरिया. सो एक ग्रीक वर्ड से हिस्ट्री डिराइव्ड होता है, उसका नाम है हिस्टोरिया. ओके, So as you know, history has been divided into 3 parts: ancient history, medieval history, and modern history, right? So in ancient history, there are 3 types or 3 division of history actually. First one is prehistory, second one is proto-history, third one is हिस्ट्री. सो प्री हिस्ट्री मतलब उस टाइम पे कोई रिटन रिकॉर्ड्स नहीं था. सो वट एवर थिंग्स वी कम टू नो इन द टाइम ऑफ प्री हिस्ट्री, वी कम टू नो फ्रॉम एक्सकावेशन. जो आर्कोलॉजिस्ट है, आर्कोलॉजिस्ट एक्सकावेट करते हैं, एक्सकावेशन से जो आर्टिफैक्ट्स, मेटेरियल रिमेन्स मिलता है, उससे हमें वो सोर्सेस पता चलता है. Then comes प्रोटो हिस्ट्री. प्रोटो हिस्ट्री क्या है? प्रोटो हिस्ट्री में आप लोगों के पास इंफॉर्मेशन, रिटन रिकॉर्ड्स है, स्क्रिप्ट्स है, पर वो रिटन रिकॉर्ड्स को अब तक डिसाइफर नहीं कर पाए या डिकोड नहीं कर पाए, वो प्रोटो हिस्ट्री होता है. सो प्रोटो हिस्ट्री का एक एग्जांपल है हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन और इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन. इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन अब तक लेकिन इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन का स्क्रिप्ट को अब तक वो डाइसाइफर कोई नहीं कर पाए, अब तक वो डाइसाइफर नहीं हुआ. दैट्स व्हाई इट कम्स अंडर द प्रोटो हिस्ट्री. Then comes history. History में written records है available, lots of written records are available, and there you can the sources or the scripts are being deciphered by the historian. So in history everything is available, and from that only we come to know about different sources of history. Okay, so उसके बाद आता है प्री हिस्टोरिक पीरियड और प्री हिस्टोरिक कल्चर इन इंडिया. सो प्री हिस्टोरिक पीरियड में 5 फेजेस आता है या 5 पीरियड्स आता है. फर्स्ट वन इज पैलियोलिथिक पीरियड, सेकेंड वन इज मेसोलिथिक पीरियड, थर्ड वन इज नियोलिथिक पीरियड, फोर्थ वन इज चैल्कोलिथिक और कैल्कोलिथिक पीरियड, एंड फिफ्थ वन इज योर आयरन एज. ओके, सो इन द पैलियोलिथिक पीरियड इट इज बीन डिवाइडेड इनटू 3 division. First is the lower Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic, and upper Paleolithic. So in the Paleolithic period, लोग सिर्फ hunting and gathering करते थे. People were only hunter and gatherers. They didn't knew to use or utilize anything. So they started with hunting and gathering. So they used to just eat and sleep. They used to hunt. They used to eat and sleep. That was their whole network. Then comes to the Mesolithic period. Mesolithic period में लोग hunting and gathering के साथ क्या करने लगे? Domestication of animals करने लगे. So like they thought that small animals are there, so instead of hunting the big animals, so we can domesticate them and we can use them or we can hunt them later, right? So isliye, and also to protect themselves from the wild animals, they used to domesticate animal. And also with that they started fishing also in the Mesolithic period. And the tools hai, stone tools hai, wo chote chote hone lage, uska naam microliths नाम दिया था उस टाइम पे. Then comes the third number is your Neolithic period. So in the Neolithic period, people started a huge thing that is from a food gatherer they became the food producer. Like they started to produce their own food. Agriculture was started from the period of Neolithic period. Okay. Then comes the Chalcolithic or Chalcolithic period. It is called as a Copper Stone Age period. This metal was used from that particular period onwards. So metal का use उस time period से हुआ है, and first metal which was used by these people were copper. That's why it is called as a Copper Stone Age, right? उसके बाद हम लोग का Iron Age आता है. Iron was available everywhere and it is cheaper than other metals, so it was used in an extensive way, and that's how development and advancement happened during that period of time. सो आप लोगों को अभी पता चला हमने क्या क्या डिस्कस किया, हिस्ट्री कितना टाइप्स का होता है, पैलियोलिथिक पीरियड के बारे में हमने डिस्कस किया. सो अभी हम लोग देखेंगे इस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक से कैसा टाइप का क्वेश्चंस आता है, कैसा टाइप का क्वेश्चंस लाइक एग्जाम्स में यूजुअली देते हैं. सो वी विल सी अ जिस्ट ऑफ दैट, एग्जांपल ऑफ दैट, सो दैट इट विल बिकम इजियर फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड एनालाइज व्हाट टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस कम. ओके, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चंस दैट इज So first question ये है आपका, man passed from the food gatherer stage to the food producing stage in which period? Neolithic, Mesolithic, Chalcolithic, Paleolithic. So which is the correct answer? Just I told you. कौन सी phase में हमने देखा था कि man from a food gatherer become a food producer? So the answer will be, आप लोग बताइए कौन सा आंसर होगा? So I think you could answer it. It will be the Neolithic period. So Neolithic period will be the right answer for this particular period. So Neolithic period में लोगों ने food producing करना start किया था, agriculture start किया था, and as दूसरा ऑप्शन दिया है मेसोलिथिक पीरियड में क्या क्या था, विद द फूड हंटिंग एंड गैदरिंग दे यूज्ड टू डू डोमेस्टिकेशन ऑफ एनिमल एंड फिशिंग. चैल्कोलिथिक पीरियड में मेटल का यूज हुआ था, द फर्स्ट मेटल व्हिच दे यूज्ड वाज कॉपर, राइट? एंड लास्ट the option among the last one is Paleolithic period. So Paleolithic period people were only hunter and gatherers. Okay, so let's proceed to the next question. Neolithic period of age is not characterized by agriculture, use of copper, domestication of animal and fishing. You can see the questions are very easy, right? If you understand the concept which has been taught in the class by your teacher, if you understand that, then you can easily decipher or decode the answer which has been given in the question, right? So यहाँ पे दिया है Neolithic period की age में कौन सी चीज नहीं था, कौन सी चीज का invention नहीं हुआ था. So your options are agriculture, use of copper, domestication of animal, fishing. So I think you came to know that agriculture was used in that particular time. It's the main particular characteristics of the Neolithic period, right? Then domestication of animal, obviously Neolithic period से पहले हुआ था, that from the Mesolithic period only it was been started. And obviously fishing was also started from Mesolithic period. So what is not characteristic of this particular period? That is use of copper. Use of copper, the copper का use तब नहीं हुआ था. In which period it was used? In the Chalcolithic or the Chalcolithic period, the copper, which is the Copper Stone Age period, right? So ऐसा टाइप का क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. आपको एक चीज एनालाइज करना पड़ेगा, नॉट ज्यादा आता है. ओके, क्वेश्चन में डायरेक्टली नहीं पूछेगा. यू हैव टू सी दैट उस क्वेश्चन में नॉट है या क्या है, आपको पर्टिकुलरली वो देखना पड़ेगा. ओके, देन यू हैव टू एनालाइज द क्वेश्चन. सो आपने देखा कौन सा टाइप का क्वेश्चन आता है इस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक से. सो यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन दोस क्वेश्चन मोर देन द अदर क्वेश्चंस. ओके, फिर हम लोग का और एक कॉन्सेप्ट के बारे में पूछते हैं. इस स्टेज के बाद एक बड़ा सिविलाइजेशन डेवलप होता है. वो सिविलाइजेशन का नाम है इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन और हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन. सो इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन बहुत पुराना है, बट रिसेंटली 1920s ओनली इट वाज बीन डिस्कवर्ड. ओके, इट वाज बीन डिस्कवर्ड एंड हड़प्पा वाज द फर्स्ट प्लेस टू बी डिस्कवर्ड. दैट्स व्हाई it is also called as the हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन. इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन को हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन भी बोलते हैं क्योंकि उस टाइम पे क्या हुआ था, हड़प्पा को फर्स्ट डिस्कवर किया था. किसने डिस्कवर किया था? दयाराम साहनी. दयाराम साहनी वाज द पर्सन हु हैव डिस्कवर्ड हड़प्पा in the beginning. So Harappan civilization एक बहुत बड़ा civilization है, and ऐसे बोलते हैं ये बहुत अर्बनाइज सिविलाइजेशन है, लाइक डेवलपमेंट्स, अर्बनाइजेशन, सोफिस्टिकेटेड ड्रेनेज सिस्टम, टाउन प्लानिंग बहुत जबरदस्त था उस टाइम पे, पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे। और टाउन प्लानिंग वाज लाइक burn bricks were used to build the houses, okay, like grid patterns were there, granaries were there, great baths were there, proper drainage systems were there. But we don't know who have done that because ab tak decipher nahi hua hai script, right? And also like different types of things have been found in this civilization. अब ये पार्टीशन हो गया है, इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान के पार्टीशन के बाद बहुत सारे साइट्स पाकिस्तान से इन एरिया में चला गया है एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द एरियाज आर देयर इन इंडिया. सो इंडिया में कालीबंगन करके एक एरिया है, उस एरिया में व्हाट इज बीन फाउंड, फायर ऑल्टर्स हैव बीन फाउंड. फायर ऑल्टर इज फेमस फॉर कालीबंगन. Then in Harappa, lot of granaries, lot of buildings were been found, which is also very much famous at that particular time. Potteries, different types of potteries were also been found in Harappa. In Mohenjo-daro, big granaries, even the lower town and citadels were been found. Citadels क्या होता है, जैसे आपको मैं यहाँ पे ड्रॉ करके दिखा सकती हूँ. ये एक चीज है, ये लोअर टाउन बोलते हैं, ओके, एंड दिस इज द अपर टाउन. इसको, इस अपर टाउन को आप सिटाडेल करके भी बोल सकते हैं, ओके. सो इस लोअर अपर टाउन में आपका elite class peoples, they used to stay there, and in the lower town normal people used to stay there. ऐसा बोलते हैं कि lower town is much more bigger than the upper town. So these are the features of Harappan civilization or Indus Valley civilization which was available at that particular time. And even dockyard was being found as port dockyards. Tradings बहुत होते थे मेसोपोटामिया के साथ, इजिप्ट के साथ बहुत सारे tradings होते थे Harappan civilization का, Harappan people का, this civilization people. And dockyards पाया गया है. डॉकयार्ड्स कहाँ पाया गया? लोथल. लोथल is a place where dockyards have been found, and also water reservoirs have been found. Different water reservoirs, not different, many water reservoirs have been found in a particular area which is named as Dholavira. It is in Gujarat. So as you know, it's a dry area. Rainfall is not that much in a particular area. So उसकी वजह से क्या करते, एक seasonal river से वो लोग डैम्स बनाते थे, डैम्स से रिजर्वर्स बना के वाटर स्टोरेज करते थे. So many reservoirs are found in Dholavira. So ऐसे different sites है, तो different sites का different features है जो हड़प्पन civilization में available है. तो अभी चलते हैं, हम लोग देखते हैं कौन सा टाइप का क्वेश्चंस आता है हड़प्पन civilization से एंड कौन सा टाइप का क्वेश्चंस हमें ज्यादातर देखना पड़ेगा. So let's start with the question. The question starts like this: which one of the following ancient town is well known for its collaborative system of water harvesting and management by building a series of dams channelizing water into water reservoirs? As I told you, just मैंने ये चीज बोला आप लोगों को कि water reservoirs are being found, right? In which place it has been found? As I just told you, right? That particular name of that particular place where these water reservoirs are found. So I think you got the answer already, right? So let's see the option. So options are Dholavira, Kalibangan, Rakhigiri and Roper. So आप लोगों को तो आंसर मिल ही गया होगा. So the answer क्या होगा? Dholavira होगा. So in Dholavira, water reservoirs are found जहाँ पे water storage systems होते थे, वहाँ पे स्टोर करके रखते थे. As they used to do agriculture was their main occupation. They needed water for that. So ये सब यूज करते थे. एंड चलिए हम लोग थोड़ा और ये साइट्स के बारे में देखते हैं. सो कालीबंगन, ऐसे मैंने जैसे बोला, फायर ऑल्टर्स, लॉट ऑफ फायर ऑल्टर्स आर फाउंड इन कालीबंगन, राइट. देन राखीगिरी में आपका burn bricks and mud bricks were been found. Mud bricks houses and burn bricks houses have been found mostly over there. Roper में आपको domestication of dogs, तो not domestication of dogs था, and dogs burials actually पाया गया है with the with their honor, burials, oval shaped burials of the honors के साथ उनके dogs का भी burials साथ में पाया गया है रोपर में. So like that you have to know that in which sites what are the things are being found. It is very much important for you all to know that particular sites. So tables देखना पड़ेगा आप लोगों को. उस tables में मैंने PDFs में डाल के रखा है वहां पे आप लोगों को देखना पड़ेगा कौन सी साइट में क्या क्या चीज अवेलेबल एंड फेमस था उस टाइम पे पर्टिकुलर पीरियड में, ठीक है। सो हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन के बारे में हम लोग कैसे जानते हैं? हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन के बारे में एक्चुअली हम लोग एक्सकवेशन से हमें पता चलता है। डिफरेंट आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट डू एक्सकवेशन इन डिफरेंट प्लेसेस, दे डिस्कवर द साइट्स एंड फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर आर्टिफैक्ट्स ओनली, जो आर्टिफैक्ट्स होता है छोटा छोटा चीजें जो मिलते हैं, उससे हमें पता चलता है कि मे बी ये लोग ये पर्टिकुलर पॉटरी करते थे, ये लोग ये ज्वेलरीज यूज करते थे, ये ऑक्यूपेशन करते थे। सो फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग्स ओनली वी कम टू नो अबाउट द civilization. Okay, now let's proceed to the next question. Yeah, so the next question is, which of the following archaeologists initially discovered the Mohenjo-daro site of Indus Valley Civilization? आप लोगों को मैंने बोल दिया था कि हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन किसने डिस्कवर किया था? दयाराम साहनी ने डिस्कवर किया था, राइट? एंड इट इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट साइट्स ऑफ इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन। तो अभी यहाँ पे क्या पूछा है? मोहेंजोदारो किसने डिस्कवर किया था? तो ऑप्शंस देखते हैं हम लोग। दयाराम साहनी, सुजॉय मार्शल, रखलदास बैनर्जी, सर मॉर्टिमर व्हीलर। सो ये ऑप्शंस है। सो इस ऑप्शन में से आपका जो दयाराम साहनी है, इट इज omitted, right? So it is omitted. देखो ऐसे आप लोगों को एनालाइज करना पड़ेगा, omit करके चीजों को कैसे आपको एक आंसर मतलब मिलेगा, ठीक है। सो सुजॉय मार्शल इज वन, रखलदास बैनर्जी इज another option, sir mortimer wheeler. So the answer here will be your R.D. Banerjee, that is Rakhaldas Banerjee. He was the one who have discovered Mohenjo-daro at particular time, ठीक है। So ऐसे आप लोगों को कौन सा साइट कौन सी पर्सन ने डाइसाइफर किया है, डिस्कवर किया है, ये आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा। सो ऐसा टाइप का क्वेश्चन आएगा फ्रॉम इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन और हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन, एंड यू हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट यू लर्न like those things, you go through those things very minutely, because question will come from that particular things, topics only, okay? Then the next question, let's see. Metal known to Indus Valley Civilization were gold, copper, silver, but not iron. Iron, copper, gold, but not silver. Silver, iron, bronze, but not gold. Zinc, silver, iron, but not gold. So यहाँ पे कौन सा actually metal उस time पे available था? ओके, सो गोल्ड, कॉपर, सिल्वर, ब्रॉन्ज ये सब अवेलेबल था। एक चीज अवेलेबल नहीं था, एक मेटल अवेलेबल नहीं था वहां पे, दैट वाज आयरन। आयरन वैदिक सिविलाइजेशन, लेटर वैदिक सिविलाइजेशन और लेटर वैदिक एज से ही आयरन डिस्कवर आयरन का यूज ज्यादा हुआ था। आयरन उस टाइम से आयरन यूज हुआ था। सो यहाँ पे ऑप्शन कौन सा होगा? फर्स्ट वन विल बी द करेक्ट ऑप्शन फ्रॉम हियर। गोल्ड, कॉपर, सिल्वर बट नॉट आयरन वाज found at that particular period. Okay, next question. ऐसे ये क्वेश्चन पढ़ने से पहले मैंने आप लोगों को एक चीज बोला था, इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन और हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन अब तक डाइसाइफर्ड नहीं हुआ है, डिकोड नहीं हुआ है। वी डोंट नो व्हाट इज रिटन ऑन द स्क्रिप्ट of that particular civilization. So अभी हम लोग एक क्वेश्चन वैसे देखेंगे, फिर आप लोग बोलना आंसर कौन सा है। फाइन। The script of Indus Valley Civilization was, the options are Persian, Dravidian, Sanskrit or undeciphered. Obviously you got the answer. What it is? It is undeciphered. अब तक deciphered नहीं हुआ है Indus Valley Civilization. So आपको क्वेश्चन ऐसे एनालाइज करके कॉन्सेप्ट को पहले आप लोग को समझना पड़ेगा। हिस्ट्री अगर आप लोग रट्टा मारने जाओ तो ऑब्वियसली विल फॉरगेट एवरीथिंग। डोंट मग अप, अंडरस्टैंड द कॉन्सेप्ट, देन यू एनालाइज द क्वेश्चन एंड यू आंसर द क्वेश्चंस, राइट? सो इसलिए हार्डवर्क तो करें, मैं बार बार बोल रही हूँ, आप लोग प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, बहुत हार्डवर्क कर रहे हो, बट हार्डवर्क के साथ आप लोग को क्या चाहिए? स्मार्ट वर्क। स्मार्ट वर्क कैसे करोगे? प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर गो थ्रू करके, ये कैसा टाइप का क्वेश्चन आएगा ये पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक से। सो आप लोगों को पता चल गया होगा कि कैसा टाइप का क्वेश्चन हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन से यूजुअली आते हैं। ओके, then let's proceed to the next question. The Indus Valley Civilization people contact with, किसके साथ कांटेक्ट मींस किसके साथ ट्रेडिंग मोस्टली किया था उन लोगों ने? सो द ऑप्शंस आर इजिप्शियन, सुमेरियन, चाइनीज, मेसोपोटामियन। सो ये जो ऑप्शंस दिया है ये सब सिविलाइजेशन है। सो वी हैव 4 civilization around the world that was going simultaneously with each other. First is the Egyptian civilization, then comes the Mesopotamian civilization, then comes the Harappan civilization or Indus Valley civilization, then comes the Chinese civilization. And ये Mesopotamian civilization को obviously Sumerian civilizations भी बोलते थे। Sumer was a city in that particular area, so it was also called as a Sumerian civilization. So आपका आंसर कौन सा होगा यहाँ से? The answer here will be Mesopotamian civilization. Okay, मतलब मेसोपोटामियन सिविलाइजेशन की सिटीज के साथ इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन का मोस्टली कांटेक्ट था. मींस दे यूज्ड टू डू लॉट ऑफ ट्रेडिंग. लेकिन बोथ द सिविलाइजेशन यूज्ड टू डू लॉट ऑफ ट्रेडिंग. इवन इजिप्ट के साथ भी सिविलाइजेशन करते थे. एंड मेसोपोटामिया उन लोगों का क्रॉस रोड था. ओके, यूरोपियन सिविलाइजेशन और इजिप्शियन सिविलाइजेशन क्रॉसवर्ड कौन सा था? क्रॉस रोड आपका मेसोपोटामियन सिविलाइजेशन था. सो ऐसे उन लोगों के साथ बहुत ट्रेडिंग करते थे. सो एज यू came to know now that what type of questions come from Indus Valley Civilization, so आपको ऐसे यूटिलाइज करके अपना नॉलेज क्वेश्चंस को एनालाइज करके आंसर करना पड़ेगा. ओके, नाउ लेट्स प्रोसीड टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक. दैट इज that is your Vedic civilization. So as you know that Vedic civilization is divided into two parts, two ages, the early Vedic period and the later Vedic period, right? So in the early Vedic period हम लोग को क्या मिलता है? Vedas मिलता है. So there are 4 Vedas. First one is Rig Veda, second one is your Samaveda, then Yajur Veda, then Atharva Veda. So ये 4 Vedas के ऊपर, ये 4 Vedas के लिटरेचर जो मिलता है, उससे ही हम लोग को क्या पता चलता है? वैदिक सिविलाइजेशन के बारे में या वैदिक एज के बारे में पता चलता है. अर्ली वैदिक एज एंड लेटर वैदिक एज में बहुत सारे डिफरेंसेस है एक्चुअली. सो पहले अर्ली वैदिक एज में पीपल यूज्ड टू से वेरी नाइसली, दे हैड अ वेरी गुड लाइफ, मेंस एंड वुमेन्स आर ट्रीटेड इक्वली. ठीक है, सब असेंबलीज में भी the women used to take part in the assembly. 3 टाइप्स का असेंबली होता था, सभा, समिति एंड विधर्त. सो वहां पे वुमेन्स, विधर्त में वुमेन्स भी पार्टिसिपेट करते थे. ओके, सभा यूजुअली क्या करते हैं? सभा यूजुअली सभा यूजुअली एडवाइस देते हैं किंग को. समिति क्या करते हैं? अपॉइंट करते हैं किंग को. ठीक है, एंड विधर्त इज अ वेरी ओल्ड you can say assembly, and there women also take part in the assemblies. So and even they used to worship what gods? Nature gods को worship करते थे. They used to believe that nature is their everything, and they used to only worship nature god. जैसे इंद्र, अग्नि, everything they used to worship. And Indra was the main focus of them, main god of them. And in the Rig Veda, इंद्र के ऊपर 200 वर्सेस लिखा गया है. सो बहुत सारी चीजें हमें अर्ली वैदिक पीरियड से पता चलता है. ये है कि women's were totally equally given equal opportunities and equal chances. ऑक्यूपेशन भी साथ में करते थे, एग्रीकल्चर हो, पॉटरी हो, या जो भी हो. फिर लेटर वैदिक पीरियड आता है. लेटर वैदिक पीरियड में क्या होता है? सब कुछ ड्रास्टिक चेंज हो जाता है. वुमेन्स का जो पोजीशन, जो इक्वलिटी था, इट बिकम्स डिटोरिएट. वुमेन्स का कंडीशन डिटोरिएट होता था, हो गया था उस टाइम पे, बिकॉज आयरन आयरन का अवेलेबिलिटी या आयरन वाज डिस्कवर्ड एट पर्टिकुलर टाइम और इंट्रोड्यूस एट पर्टिकुलर टाइम इन पर्टिकुलर पीरियड. सो जैसे आयरन का डिस्कवरी और आयरन वाज इंट्रोड्यूस, तो क्या हुआ? अभी जो मेंस थे, द मेल मेंबर्स ऑफ द हाउस होल्ड यूज्ड टू वर्क, मींस जो मेटल को मेल्ट करते थे, मेटल से चीजें, वेपन्स और व्हाटएवर टूल्स बनाते थे, उस प्रोसेस में वुमेन्स का women separate हो गया. So they usually used to do what? They usually used to do the household work. So ऐसे women's का degradation या women's का deterioration हो गया उस time पे. So patriarchy nature हो गया, male domination society हो गया. And also in that particular time Varna system was been established. So Varna system जब establish हुआ था, सब कुछ even society का division हो गया था. जैसे बोलते हैं जो ब्रह्मा भगवान है, ब्रह्मा भगवान का जो head है, उसको ब्राह्मण्स, उससे ब्राह्मण्स पैदा हुआ है, या the birth of the Brahmins was from the Brahma Bhagwan's head. Then from the hands of the soldiers, shoulders, the soldiers or the Kshatriyas were being born. From the thighs of the Brahma Bhagwan, the Vaishyas were being born, and from the feet of the Brahma Bhagwan, the Shudras were being born. So ये 4 varnas है, that is the Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudras. Okay, Brahmins is the upper class. They used to do the preach. The priest थे जो preach करते थे. Then Kshatriyas were the warrior class. Vaishyas are the nobles or the chariot riders, artisans. ये सब Vaishyas. और then Shudras सबसे lower caste होता था, वो सबको serve करता था. So ये division start when society का totally division and deterioration हो गया among every people. Okay. So now let's see. हम लोग क्वेश्चंस देखते हैं कैसा टाइप का क्वेश्चंस आता है फ्रॉम द वैदिक सिविलाइजेशन और वैदिक एज, राइट? सो द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज द रिलीजन्स ऑफ अर्ली वैदिक आर्यन वाज प्राइमरीली ऑफ जो अर्ली वैदिक पीरियड के लोग थे, वो लोग क्या वर्शिप करते थे? भक्ति. ऑप्शंस आर भक्ति, सेकंड ऑप्शन इमेज वर्शिप एंड यज्ञास, देन वर्शिप ऑफ नेचर एंड यज्ञास, worship of nature and bhaktis. सो मैंने क्या बोला था, अर्ली वैदिक पीरियड में लोग क्या वर्शिप करते थे? ऑब्वियसली दे यूज्ड टू वर्शिप द नेचर, they used to worship each and every particular things of the nature. Nature was their god, right? So the correct option here will be your option number 3. Option number 3 आपका correct option होगा. वो लोग nature को worship करते थे. Okay, clear? Then, okay, now और एक कॉन्सेप्ट समझते हैं. सो वैदिक सिविलाइजेशन के बाद आपका क्या आता है? महाजनपदस आता है. सो महाजनपदस क्या है? महा मीन्स बिग, Jana means like people, and padas means their legs. When they step into a particular place, that particular place become their community or tribe. Okay, they migrate from a particular place and एक place में वो लोग settle होते हैं. वो settle होना वाला place धीरे धीरे community बनता है, community से town बनता है, town से big cities बनता है. पहले cities बनता है, वो cities अगर emerge होके बहुत बड़ा expansion किया तो वो क्या होता है? महाजनपदस होता है. जो small small principalities, territories या cities है उसको जनपदास बोलते हैं. जो big cities and big principalities are there उसको क्या बोलते हैं? महाजनपदास बोलते हैं. ठीक है? There are 16 Mahajanapadas and 16 Mahajanapadas में सबसे important है the Magadhas. Okay, Magadha में बहुत सारी territories है and the most important king of the of the Magadha empire where first one is Bimbisar, second one is Ajatasattu, then the last one is actually Mahapadmananda. एंड उसके बाद और एक आता है, वो है धनानंदा. ही बिलोंग्स फ्रॉम द नंदा डायनेस्टी एंड फ्रॉम नंदा डायनेस्टी को डिफीट करके द मौर्यन एम्पायर, द बिग ब्रॉड बेस एम्पायर व्हिच स्टार्ट इज द मौर्यन एम्पायर. धनानंदा को, जो नंदा डायनेस्टी है, वो धनानंदा को डिफीट करके मौर्यन एम्पायर एस्टैब्लिश होता है. ठीक है? सो हम लोग देखते हैं सम क्वेश्चंस related to this topics. So first question क्या है? Which of the following dynasty was ruling over North India at the time of Alexander invasion? So क्या होता है उस टाइम पे, नंदा डायनेस्टी के टाइम पे जब धनानंदा रूल कर रहे थे, उस टाइम पे अलेक्जेंडर सब जगह को एक्सपैंड करके, डिफीट करके भारत की तरफ आता है. एज भारत की तरफ आता है, so everybody become alert. Okay, जो चाणक्य है, जो विष्णुगुप्त के नाम से भी जाना जाता है, he become very much curious if these people come and conquer India. जो इंडिया का कल्चर है वो completely destroy हो जाएगा, vanish हो जाएगा, right? So actually he went to धनानंदा. धनानंदा के पास जाता है, धनानंदा को हेल्प मांगता है या बोलता है कि आपको भी you also have that डर होना चाहिए कि ये अलेक्जेंडर आ रहा है. तो वो गुस्सा हो जाता है, उसको निकाल देता है उसकी कोर्ट से. एंड ही बिलीव दैट ही कैन डिफीट द होल अलेक्जेंडर इन्वेजन. ओके, फिर चाणक्य को बहुत बुरा लगता है एंड ही कंस्पायर अगेंस्ट धनानंदा. ही थॉट दैट Alexander will come, he will firstly he will make a person prepared for the particular to start an empire, and with that person he will be with Alexander, he will join with Alexander. उसके बाद वो धनानंदा को डिफीट करके अपना एक एम्पायर एस्टैब्लिश करेगा. वो कॉन्स्पिरेसी बनाया था, पर वैसा नहीं होता है. मतलब वो लोग नॉर्थ इंडिया की तरफ आते हैं, अलेक्जेंडर नॉर्थ इंडिया की तरफ आता है, पर ब्यास रिवर के पास उसका they stop near the Bias river because they have to in that particular time one more king was there, that is Porus बोलते हैं. In Greeks used to name him Porus. Actually he had a very big army, and actually Alexander army was very they have to face this Porus army. Okay, and they gave a very good tucker to this Alexander army. So they had big elephants and they could not save them. The Alexander's armies could not save them from the elephants. Okay, so what they have to do, many of the armies were killed in that particular war. Fine, but he somehow defeated Puru. But वो लोग जब ब्यास रिवर पहुंचा, आगे किसका आर्मी था? धनानंदा की आर्मी था. तो उस टाइम पे वो लोग बहुत स्कैर्ड थे कि अगर हम लोग आगे गए, एलिफेंट्स तो बहुत सारे होंगे वहां पे, तो ऑब्वियसली विद एलिफेंट्स लॉट ऑफ द आर्मीज we will be conquered by them. So they stopped there and they went. They did not went towards Bharat, but they went back towards their place. Okay, तो उस टाइम पे यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन यही दिया है, which of the following dynasty was ruling over North India at the time of Alexander invasion? So आपका ऑप्शंस है Mauravs, Kanavas, Nandas and Sungas. So यहाँ पे मैंने क्या बोला था? नंदा डायनेस्टी के टाइम पे अलेक्जेंडर का इन्वेजन हुआ था, अलेक्जेंडर नॉर्थ इंडिया की तरफ आ रहे थे, right? So the option here will be the Nanda. Dhanananda was the one king at that particular time, right? Now let's proceed to the next question. As I told you, इसके बाद क्या आता है, इस डायनेस्टी के बाद मौर्यन डायनेस्टी एस्टैब्लिश होता है, राइट। मौर्यन डायनेस्टी कौन एस्टैब्लिश करता है? चाणक्य। Like Chanakya actually bring a particular person, that is Chandragupta Maurya. He groomed him and he make him capable to become a king, and they defeat actually Dhanananda. Dhanananda को defeat करके आप वो king बनता है, and foundation of the Mauryan Empire started. And ये Mauryan Empire was a very broad based empire, and it is said to be the foundation. Ancient India वहां से start होता है, ऐसे बोलते हैं. Like the historians, they usually say that ancient India starts from the Mauryan Empire. So Mauryan Empire is very big. So important sources of the Mauryan Empire that we come to know about Mauryan Empire is, first is Mudra Rakshasa by Vishakadatta. जो मैंने आपको ये story बोला अभी, धनानंदा कैसे, मतलब धनानंदा को कैसे डिफीट किया, धनानंदा ने जैसे चाणक्य को इंसल्ट किया था. सो एवरीथिंग हाउ लाइक मौर्यन एम्पायर वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड बाय डिफीटिंग धनानंदा, इट इज बीन रिटन इन मुद्रा राक्षसा. मुद्रा राक्षसा किसने लिखा था? विशाखादत्त ने लिखा था. देन सेकंड सोर्स दैट वी कम टू नो फ्रॉम दैट वी कम टू नो अबाउट द मौर्यन एम्पायर इज इंडिका बाय मेगास्थनीज. मेगास्थनीज एक ग्रीक एम्बेसडर था, उसको भेजा गया था चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य की कोर्ट में, एंड he observed the empire and he wrote Indica. From that also we come to know about the Mauryan Empire. Third one is Arthashastra. Arthashastra was written by whom? Kautilya. Kautilya is also known as Chanakya, and Chanakya is also known as Vishnugupta. उसका फर्स्ट नाम विष्णुगुप्त था. सेकेंड वन इज चाणक्य, एंड जब उसने अर्थशास्त्र लिखा था उसका नाम क्या हुआ? His pen name was Kautilya. He wrote that, and in Arthashastra we come to know about the administration, statecraft, about the economy of the Mauryan Empire. So Mauryan Empire के बारे में हमें वहां से पता चलता है. And उसके बाद kings आता है. कौन होता है? First is Chandragupta Maurya, second is your Bindusar, and third is Ashoka the Great, as you know. And Ashoka के बारे में हमें 3 phases में पता चलता है. First one is your कामअशोक जब उसका इनिशियल नॉट इनिशियल सॉरी बिगिनिंग ऑफ द एम्पायर होता है, वो बहुत अच्छे से अपना रूल करते हैं, लाइक विद हैप्पी. एंड उसके बाद चंद अशोक आता है. चंद अशोक में वो बहुत एग्रेसिव हो जाता है, एंड कलिंगा वॉर होता है, ब्लड शेड होता है. एंड उसके बाद धम्मा अशोक आता है. धम्मा अशोक का मतलब जब कलिंगा वॉर होता है, ही बिकम वेरी गिल्टी टू सी ऑल द ब्लड शेड एंड व्हाट आई हैव डन, आई हैव टू स्टॉप दिस. तो जब वो धर्मा की मिडिल पार्ट चूज करता है, बुद्धिज्म चूज करता है, वहां पे धम्मा अशोक आता है. एंड जो वो सीख करता है, वो निर्वाणा और व्हाटएवर ही लर्न फ्रॉम बुद्धिज्म, ही वांटेड टू टेल पीपल अबाउट दैट. तो उसके लिए वो क्या निर्माण करता है या क्या एस्टैब्लिश करता है? इंस्क्रिप्शन और एडिक्स. क्या एडिक्स? पिलर एडिक्स एंड योर रॉक एडिक्स, रॉक कट एडिक्स. सो रॉक एडिक्स, बहुत सारे मेजर रॉक एडिक्स, माइनर रॉक एडिक्स, पिलर एडिक्स है, जो जहां पे वो धम्मा, लेकिन उसकी धम्मा के बारे में लिखा है. व्हाटएवर ही हैव लर्न, व्हाटएवर अबाउट नॉन वायलेंस, ही हैव रिटन ऑन दोस पिलर और रॉक इंस्क्रिप्शन. एंड इट इज everywhere, in India, everywhere it was been established. Okay, it was been made so that people read and learn from that particular inscriptions or edicts. And वहां पे पाली एंड प्राकृत लैंग्वेज का यूज किया है, संस्कृत लैंग्वेज का यूज नहीं किया है, एज संस्कृत लैंग्वेज वाज आल्सो ओनली नोन बाय द ब्राह्मण्स को संस्कृत लैंग्वेज पता था उस टाइम पे. एंड ये जो कॉमन पीपल थे, उन लोगों को पाली एंड प्राकृत का ही लैंग्वेज नॉलेज था. तो इसलिए सब एडिक्स उसने पाली एंड प्राकृत में लिखा था. सो अभी जो वहां पे जो लिखा है वो इंस्क्रिप्शन, स्क्रिप्ट को किसने डाइसाइफर किया था? एक पर्सन ने डाइसाइफर किया था, उसका नाम है जॉन प्रिंसिप. जॉन प्रिंसिप ने व्हाटएवर इज रिटन इन द स्क्रिप्ट्स ऑफ द अशोकास एडिक्ट, ही वाज द पर्सन हु डिकोड एंड डाइसाइफर्ड इट. पर इसको किसने डिस्कवर किया था? एक्सकवेशन करके अलेक्जेंडर कनिंघम ने डिस्कवर किया था. सो अभी क्वेश्चंस देखते हैं हम लोग, ठीक है. So first question is who of the following had first deciphered the edicts of Emperor Ashoka? As I told you, just now I told you. So कौन होगा? आप लोगों को आंसर पता ही चल गया होगा. इसका आंसर क्या है? James Princip. James Princip was the one who have deciphered or decoded all the edicts of Ashoka at that particular time. ठीक है. फिर next question जाते हैं हम लोग. The ancient Indian play Mudra Rakshasa Vishakadatta has its subjects on ऑप्शंस देखते हैं. A conflict between gods and demons of ancient Hindu lore, a romantic story of an Aryan prince and a tribal woman, the story of power struggle between two Aryan tribes, or how Chandragupta Maurya founded its empire. राइट। सो आप लोगों को पता चल गया, मैंने मुद्रा राक्षसा का स्टोरी बोला था, स्टोरी कैसे कहाँ क्या लिखा है उस वहां पे मौर्यन एम्पायर के बारे में, हाउ दे डिफीटेड द नंदास, धनानंदा, एंड हाउ दे एस्टैब्लिश्ड देयर एम्पायर. So obviously you came to know about the answer. The answer here will be number D, how Chandragupta Maurya founded its empire and defeated Dhanananda. That is the answer of that particular thing which has been in Mudra Rakshasa, which has been written by whom? Vishaka Dutt. Okay, clear? Now let's proceed to the next question. Okay. So before that, as I told you, ये chronology है किसका? Mauryan Empire का. ठीक है, Chandragupta Maurya was the king of that particular first founder of the Mauryan dynasty. Then is the Bindusar, Ashoka the Great, the Saratha. Then these are the actually kings, but this three is the most important one, and Brihadat was the last king of the Mauryan Empire. Okay, you need to know these three names and the last name, who was the last ruler of the Mauryan Empire. Okay, so let's see more questions of the Mauryan Empire. So Megasthenes visited the court of अशोका, चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य, हर्षा और विक्रम आदित्य. सो ये आंसर क्या होगा? मैंने क्या बोला था सोर्सेस में से, सेकंड सोर्सेस में क्या था? इंडिका बाय मेगास्थेनीज. सो मेगास्थेनीज वाज द एम्बेसडर, ग्रीक एम्बेसडर हु हैव विजिटेड द कोर्ट ऑफ होम? चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य. चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य के टाइम में उसने मौर्यन एम्पायर पे आया वो, और आके ऑब्वियसली ही ऑब्जर्व्ड द एम्पायर एंड ही रोट व्हाट? इंडिका. सो क्या लिखा था यहाँ पे? क्वेश्चन क्या है? क्वेश्चन ऐसे भी आ सकते हैं, मेगास्थेनीज ने कौन सा बुक लिखा था चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य की टाइम पे या मौर्यन एम्पायर पे? तो इंडिका होगा वो. अभी यहाँ पे क्या पूछा है? व्हाट इज बीन आस्क्ड इन दिस क्वेश्चन? मेगास्थेनीज विजिटेड द कोर्ट ऑफ व्हिच एम्परर? सो द आंसर विल बी व्हाट? Chandragupta Maurya's period he actually visited the Mauryan Empire. ठीक है, so next question देखते हैं. Consider the following statements. The Arthashastra is the first Indian text to define state. The main concern of the Arthashastra are theoretical issues like the origin of the state. So यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन देखो, दो ऑप्शंस दिया है, वो ऑप्शंस में से आपको चूज करना है कौन सा करेक्ट है कौन सा नहीं करेक्ट है. सो ऑप्शंस ऐसा देखा गया है, स्टेटमेंट्स को आपको चूज करना है कि नंबर 1 इज करेक्ट, 2 इज करेक्ट, और बोथ 1 and 2 इज करेक्ट, और नाइदर 1 and 2 इज करेक्ट. तो मैंने क्या बोला था? अर्थशास्त्र वाज अ बुक रिटन बाय whom? Kautilya. And what you have mentioned about the administration, about the statecraft, about the economy. So first option will be correct, right? And the main concern of Arthashastra are theoretical issue and the origin of the state. Theoretical issue means political issues, administration of the state. Yes, it's correct. So both the statement here is correct. So कौन सा ऑप्शन आपका करेक्ट होगा? नंबर सी, that is both 1 and 2. So ऐसा टाइप का क्वेश्चन आएगा, आपको स्टेटमेंट को अच्छे से पढ़ के you have to answer the question. Okay, clear? Okay. So now let's talk about the next question. यहाँ पे भी एक स्टेटमेंट दिया है. द लास्ट मॉडर्न रूलर क्या नाम था? बृहदत्ता. मैंने इसलिए बोला 3 रूलर का नाम आपको बहुत अच्छे से याद करना है. फाउंडर इज चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य, सेकंड वन इज बिंदुसार, एंड थर्ड वन इज योर अशोका द ग्रेट, एंड द लास्ट रूलर ऑफ द मौर्यन डायनेस्टी इज हु? ऑब्वियसली बृहदत्ता. सो दिस 4 names you have to understand and remember very nicely. So now let's see the statement what's given here. That is, the first Mauryan ruler, last Mauryan ruler Brihadatta was assassinated by his commander-in-chief Pushpamitra Sunga. Second one is the last Sunga king Devabhuti was assassinated by his Brahmin minister Vasudev Kana, who was usurped the throne. The last ruler of the Kanava dynasty was deposed by Anthras. So यहाँ पे क्या दिया है पता है? यहाँ पे पोस्ट मॉडर्न पीरियड के बारे में दिया है. So पोस्ट मॉडर्न पीरियड में आपका 2 डिविजन आता है. फर्स्ट इज द नेटिव सक्सेसर ऑफ द मौर्यन एम्पायर, देन कम्स द फॉरेन सक्सेसर ऑफ द मौर्यन एम्पायर. सो यहाँ पे नेटिव सक्सेसर्स के बारे में दिया है. सो जो मौर्यन एम्पायर को सक्सीड करता है वो सुंगास होता है, उसका नाम है पुष्पमित्र सुंगा. ही वाज द मिनिस्टर ऑफ द लास्ट रूलर ऑफ द मौर्यन डायनेस्टी, दैट इज बृहदत्ता. So Brihadatta was not a capable ruler, and like his territory was disintegrating. So to capture the territory, to keep the territories intact, to build the territories, actually the minister conspired and they came to a conclusion that he should be killed. So Pushpamitra Sunga, who was the founder of the Sunga dynasty, killed Brihadatta and he became the king and started the Sunga dynasty. So the first option actually is the correct one, that the last modern ruler Brihadatta was assassinated, means killed by the commander-in-chief or the minister Pushpamitra Sunga, which is the correct one. And then the second dynasty, the successor of the Mauryan Empire is Kanava dynasty. So here it's been given the last Sunga king, Devabhuti. Devabhuti was the last Sunga king, okay? He actually was killed by whom? By his Brahmin minister Vasudev. Kanava, it will be Kanava, okay? Kanava, who took the throne. It is also correct, even he did that. Kanava dynasty was not that big, they only ruled for a few decades and it was been taken away, okay? So what he did, like the last ruler, he killed the last ruler, Kanava dynasty's founder killed the last ruler and he became the king. Then the Kanava dynasty was not that famous. So, okay, before that, this option is correct, okay? This option is correct. Last Sunga ruler, actually, Devabhuti was killed by whom? The Vasudev Kanava, and he became or founded the Kanava dynasty, which is the correct option. Third option, the last ruler of the Kanava dynasty was deposed by Andhras. Andhras कौन होता है? Satavahanas होता है, okay? Andhras were the Satavahanas. They are the Satavahanas and they are successor of the Mauryan Empire. It's a very big empire, not that very big, but it is a very powerful empire, you can say. The most powerful king of that particular kingdom is your Gautami Putra Satkarni, okay? So, यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है? The last ruler of Kanava dynasty was deposed by the Andhras. It is correct. The Satavahanas actually succeeded whom? The Kanava dynasty. So, all the statement here are correct. So, हम अभी options देखते क्या क्या है, ठीक है? 1 and 2, only 3 और 1, 2 and 3. So, option ऐसे मैंने बोला कि सब कुछ correct है, तो तुम्हारा option B correct होगा. ओके, सो ऐसे तुम लोग को स्टेटमेंट पहले यूटिलाइज करना पड़ेगा कि हाँ मैंने क्या पढ़ा था या क्या नॉलेज गेन किया था. कॉन्सेप्ट को समझो, तब तुम लोग अच्छे से आंसर्स को क्लियरली डिफाइन करके एनालाइज करके निकाल सकते हो. सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन विल बी नंबर 1, 2 and 3. फाइन हियर. सो नाउ लेट्स प्रोसीड टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ओके, सो हियर यू नो एज आई टोल्ड यू और एक सोर्स था, लेकिन नो कहाँ का? बुद्धिज्म का. सो बुद्धिज्म वहां पे उस टाइम पे फ्लोरिश होता है एंड गौतम बुद्धा गेट्स निर्वाणा एंड ऑल्सो लेकिन नो डिस्कवर्ड 4 नोबल ट्रूथ ऑफ हिम, दैट इज लेकिन नो हम लोग का दुख, sorrow is everywhere. What is the cause of the sorrow? Cause of the sorrow is desire. हम लोग के पास बहुत desires है and desires को कैसे हम लोग को लेकिन नो desires को हम लोग खत्म कर सकते हैं, पर कैसे? By attending the 8-fold path. ठीक है, 8-fold path को लेकिन वो खत्म करके हम लोग डिजायर्स को खत्म करने के लिए हम लोग अगर अष्टांग मार्ग या 8-fold पार्ट को अप्लाई करें, देन एवरीथिंग विल बी फाइन. ही सेड लाइक दैट. सो हियर यू नो एन इंफॉर्मेशन, एक सोर्स हम जहां से हमें बुद्धा एम्पायर की, बुद्धिज्म के बारे में पता चलता है, तो एक सोर्स है मिलन का. मीन्स मिलन वाज अ ग्रीक. He was named later Milanpano. पहले उसका नाम था Menander. Okay, Menander. He was a king Menander of Greek. So वो भारत पे आया था. वो भारत पे आके अलेक्जेंडर के साथ आया था शायद, तो वो भारत पे रुक गया. Then he met a person, a king actually, Nagsing. Okay, he met Nagsing in कश्मीर. तो कश्मीर में उन लोगों का बहुत क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशंस हुआ, कन्वर्सेशन की तौर से वो बहुत इम्प्रेस्ड हो गया जब उसको पता चला अबाउट बुद्धिज्म. सो ही took that part of Buddhism and he became a Buddhist and he changed his name into Milanpano. तो क्वेश्चन क्या है हम लोग देखते हैं, ठीक है? Milanpano is the form of a dialogue between the king Menander, okay, his name was first Menander, and the Buddhist monk. द किंग कौन सा था? मैंने जस्ट बोला आप लोगों को, आई थिंक आप लोगों को आंसर पता चल गया होगा. दैट इज नागसेन, नागार्जुना, नागाभट्टा और कुमरिला भट्ट. सो व्हाट विल बी योर आंसर? ऑब्वियसली इट विल बी ऑप्शन ए, दैट इज नागसेन, राइट? या. सो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, हाँ, बुद्धिस्ट का 4 काउंसिल हुआ था. 4 काउंसिल्स हैपेन लेकिन इन बुद्धिज्म. ओके, सो लास्ट काउंसिल, यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन एक आएगा कि लास्ट काउंसिल में प्रेसिडेंट कौन था. So let's see, right? Who among the following presided the Buddhist council held during the reign of Kanishka at Kashmir? So Kanishka कुशाना एम्पायर का बहुत बड़ा रूलर है, ठीक है? कुशाना एम्पायर में कनिष्का को सेकेंड अशोका करके बोलते थे. ओके, ही वाज सेड टू बी द सेकेंड अशोका. फाइन. सो यहाँ पे उस टाइम पे जब कनिष्का का रेंज था, who was the president of that particular Buddhist council? It will be the 4th Buddhist council. Okay, 4th Buddhist council के टाइम पे प्रेसिडेंट कौन था? So देखते हैं हम ऑप्शंस. परसव, शुद्रक, Nagarjuna, Vasumitra. So the option will be here is Vasumitra. He was the president of that particular, he presided the particular Buddhist council. So he was bought by Kanishka from Pataliputra. He went, Kanishka went to defeat, expand his territory, conquer Pataliputra. So he brought many scholars with him, Ashvaghosha, Kanishka, Charaka, and also one more, that is Nagarjuna. So among them, he was a Buddhist scholar and he also presided the fourth Buddhist council. Okay? Yeah. So now let's proceed to the next question. ओके सो यहाँ पे हम लोग एंशियंट इंडिया को खत्म करके हम लोग मेडिएवल इंडिया में आता है. सो अर्ली मेडिएवल इंडिया भी दो पार्ट में डिवाइडेड है, अर्ली मेडिएवल इंडिया एंड मेडिएवल इंडिया. ठीक है. सो अर्ली मेडिएवल इंडिया में क्या था, बहुत सारा ट्रैवलर्स था. ठीक है. तो ट्रैवलर्स आके उस टाइम पे जो न्यूली डेवलप अरब्स, जब अरब्स आके हम लोग की भारत पे कॉन्कर किया था, उस टाइम पे बहुत ट्रैवलर्स आते थे. तो ट्रैवलर्स आके पूरा जगह इसको देख के they used to visit the places and they used to write travelogues, right? So here, Ibn Battuta was also a traveler. He was a traveler, and let's see about what it has been written here, okay? So the question actually is, Ibn Battuta went to China as an envoy of which of the following Delhi Sultanate? So he was actually, Ibn Battuta was a traveler and he was a global traveler. He used to travel so much. He used to love traveling. Like from a very young age, he used to travel to different places. We have visited many places. So here it has been asked that he was sent to China by which of the king of the medieval पीरियड, नॉट मेडिएवल एक्चुअली, दिल्ली सुल्तानेट पीरियड. सो मेडिएवल पीरियड में पहले तो अरब्स आते हैं. अरब आने के बाद दिल्ली सुल्तानेट का फेज स्टार्ट होता है, देन मुगल एम्पायर का फेज स्टार्ट होता है, राइट. सो पहले के बाद दिल्ली सुल्तानेट के फेज पे वो कौन सी डायनेस्टी के रूलर्स के साथ था एंड कौन से डायनेस्टी के रूलर ने उसको चाइना भेजा था. तो ऑप्शन है अलाउद्दीन खिलजी, मोहम्मद बिन तुगलक, इल्तुतमिश एंड फिरोज शाह तुगलक. बिफोर दैट यू नीड टू नो डायनेस्टीज क्या क्या थे दिल्ली सुल्तानेट का. ठीक है. सो फर्स्ट वन एक्चुअली was the slave dynasty. Okay, Qutbuddin Aibak was the founder of the slave dynasty. Then after the slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty, the second dynasty or Khilji dynasty. I think you have heard about Alauddin Khilji, who was the main ruler of that particular dynasty. Then comes the Tughlaq dynasty, and Muhammad bin Tughlaq belonged to the Tughlaq dynasty. Then comes Iltutmish. Iltutmish actually was from your Mamluk dynasty. After the Tughlaq dynasty comes the Shayyads. Okay, Shayyad dynasty. So Shayyad dynasty was very small dynasty, rather than other dynasties. After the Shayyad dynasty comes your last dynasty, that is the Lodi dynasty. The last ruler of the Lodi dynasty was Ibrahim Lodi, and he was defeated by the ruler of the founder actually of the Mughal period, that was Babur. He defeated with Babur, and that battle was known as the first battle of Panipat. And in the first battle of Panipat, Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi and he started the Mughal Empire. Okay, so here you can see the question. So according to the question, he actually was in the court of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq, at that time was the most educated ruler among all the kings or about all the dynasties. He was said to be the educated fool because he know many things, he have done many things, but he he could not strategize the thing properly and he went into loss. Okay, so he was a person who he loved Ibn Battuta. He wanted Ibn Battuta to be in his court. He also made him the court person, his court person, and he have sent to him to China. Fine, here. Now let's talk about another traveler, that is Al-Biruni. Al-Biruni was another author, traveler. Okay, he also used to travel from one place to another place. So he wrote a book, okay, that is Kitabul Hind. So Kitabul Hind was written in which language? So it will be Arabic. So Kitabul Hind was written in Arabic language. Okay, so in Arabic, Kitabul Hind was being written, and in that we come to know about Bharat and many other places of many other sources of history. Okay, here. Now let's talk about the Mughal Empire. As I told you, that after Delhi Sultanate, as Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the last battle, in the battle of Panipat, first battle of Panipat. So after that, the Mughal Empire starts. The founder of the Mughal Empire, as you came to know, was Babur. Then his son is Humayun, then after Humayun comes Akbar, then Jahangir, then Shah Jahan, then Aurangzeb. Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and Aurangzeb. The last ruler actually was Aurangzeb was the last ruler at that particular dynasty who was the most powerful ruler, and his successor was not that great. So the last ruler of the actual Mughal dynasty was Bahadur Shah Jafar II. Bahadur Shah Jafar II was he died in the time of revolt of 1857, which is also called as the first war of independence. Okay, so let's see some questions from Mughal Empire. Let's see what type of questions come from the Mughal Empire. So first question is, who gifted Badshah Nama to King George in 1799? So Badshah Nama was written by whom? It was written by Abdul Hamid Lahori. He was the person who wrote Badshah Nama, okay? But it was gifted by someone else. Who gifted it? The options are Abul Faisal, Abdul Hamid Lahori, Nawab of Awadh, and William Jones. So here, your answer will be Nawab of Awadh. Okay, option C is the correct one over here. Okay, he was the one actually gifted King George the Badshah Nama, but it was written by whom? It was written by Abdul Hamid Lahori. Fine, and also Abul Fazl was the court poet. He was a favorite court poet of who? Akbar. Okay, so William Jones also played a very important role in the time of what you can say, at that particular age. Okay, so next question is, who among the following was the author of Humayun Nama? Fine. So Humayun Nama was a autobiography of whom? Biography of Humayun. So who was the person who wrote Humayun Nama? So let's see the option. Roshan Ara Begum, Rukaya Sultan Begum, Gulbadan Begum, and Gohar Begum. So who actually wrote Humayun Nama? Humayun Nama was written by his sister. Humayun's sisters wrote about Humayun Nama, about his biography, about his life. So the correct option here will be your Gulbadan Begum. Gulbadan Begum was the sister of Humayun who wrote about Humayun Nama, right? So let's see who was Roshanara Begum. Roshanara Begum was a daughter of Shah Jahan. Ruqayya Sultan Begum, I think you all know, she is a wife of Akbar, and Gohra Begum was also the daughter of Shah Jahan. Fine. So now let's talk about the next question. Name the calligrapher. Okay, calligraphy, the different designs, beautiful designs like writing. In Akbar's court was honored with the title Zareen Kalam or Golden Pen. So who got the title of this particular, name of golden, Zareel Kalam or Golden Pen by Akbar? So the answer will be Muhammad Husani. So number C is the correct option of this particular question. So he is the person who actually was honored with the title Zareen Kalam or Golden Pen. So you can see now what type of questions come from medieval, history, or from the Mughal emperor, empire, or from the Delhi Sultanate. So you have to focus on those particular topics, right? Who wrote the biographies of the kings, right? Who got these titles from the kings? Who is the court poet of these kings? So you have to remember those names very minutely and particularly, and you have to focus on those particular the topics more, because by the questions you can see these kind of questions come in the exam, and by analyzing this you know now which topic you need to focus on more, right? Yeah. Now let's proceed to the next question. Okay. Yeah. So now let's come towards after the Mughal Empire, as I told you, the modern age starts, right? Then the modern age, as it starts with, how this East India Company came to, Bharat at a particular time, and how they came as a trader, and how they have captured, the whole Bharat, and how they have colonized the whole Bharat, right? After colonization, they have colonized, you can say that at that particular time, many laws were being imposed, many regulatory acts were being imposed by the Britishers, and, they dominated the Indians or the Bharatian peoples in a very bad way. The condition of the people were very bad at a particular time. Many laws, actually, they come to the countryside also. In the countryside, they have imposed many laws and many, what you can say, many massacres or many like things happen, and these people have to suffer very much, right? Then in Gandhiji at that particular time, like he went to South Africa, and he came to South Africa in 1915, and when he visited everywhere, then he saw that the condition of the people were not that good. So he started with a concept of satyagraha. So satyagraha means satya means truth, graha means non-violence. So he actually wanted to do everything with non-violent way. And in that process only he have started with three satyagrahas. First the Champaran Satyagraha, second is the Kheda Satyagraha, and third is the Ahmedabad milk strike. Okay, in that particular satyagraha he have used the tool of non-violence, and he succeeded. So it was based on the peasants, and the peasants were suffering, and indigo planters were suffering, peasants were suffering, and mill workers were suffering. But he did what? He did peaceful protest, and with the peaceful protest only we were able to conquer victory. And when he conquered victory, what happened at that particular time? The Britishers were very much furious that this person is winning and winning. So it will be difficult for us. So at that particular time, they have started a law. Okay, they have imposed a law, that is a Rowlatt Act or the Act. According to that Act, anyone who do protest, or anyone who sit in the protest or do the protest peacefully without doing any violence, they will be arrested. Okay, anyone will be arrested without any warrant, without any what you can say, that person will be arrested without any warrant. No trial will happen. Okay, he will be sent towards jail and have to stay in jail for 2 years. So it was an unjust or black act that was imposed by the Britishers. So for that act, he actually imposed, he started a Rowlatt Satyagraha, but he was stopped there. And in that particular thing only, Jallianwala Bagh massacre happened. And Jallianwala Bagh massacre, in the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, the main villain of the whole massacre was as the massacre happened. It is a big massacre, okay, and as many people were killed, so the Britishers were the main villain at that particular time. So as many people were killed, then Gandhiji thought that we need to combine the Hindu and Muslim together. So as we have combined the Hindu Muslim together, a movement was been started at particular time. That was the Khilafat movement. So after the Khilafat movement, he actually united Hindus and Muslim together, and with the Hindus and Muslim, as they united together, they started a broad-based movement that was the non-cooperation movement. As a non-cooperation movement started, everything was going on well, but that movement was called off by Gandhiji due to some reason. And after that, the second broad-based movement was civil disobedience movement. After civil disobedience movement, that was also started with a great start, but it was also called off by Mahatma Gandhi due to some reason. But the last broad-based movement for Quit India movement. After Quit India movement, actually India got its independence. But India got it independent, but with a partition with the Pakistan. So India and Pakistan got divided with different countries, and that's how India gained independence. Right? So now let's see some questions from modern India. Right? What type of questions will come? Like you will come to know, you will analyze those questions, and you know which part you need to focus on more. Right? Yeah. So the first question is, who launched the Bardoli Satyagraha on 4th February 1928? So the options are Mahatma Gandhi, Vallabhbhai Patel, Rajendra Prasad, and Kalyanji Mehta. So Bardoli Satyagraha, as I told you, 3 satyagrahas he have started. First one is what? Champaran Satyagraha, then your Kheda Satyagraha, then your Ahmedabad milk strike. But this Bardoli Satyagraha was after the non-cooperation movement, when the civil disobedience movement was about to start, this satyagraha happened. And it was also a peasant agitation satyagraha. Peasants were suffering because they have to give a lot of revenues to the Britishers. So for that, this satyagraha was started, and the main person to lead this satyagraha launched this satyagraha was Vallabhbhai Patel. Vallabhbhai Patel was the one who actually launched this particular satyagraha. Fine. So next question is who among the following social reformers started a society for encouraging widow remarriage in 1866 in Maharashtra? So this was before the freedom movement started. Okay, before the freedom movement started, some people were there, Indian intellectuals, scholars or philosophers were there who was actually fighting with the Britishers to look after the Indian people or the Bharatian people, fine? So here, who was a social reformer? Many reformers were there, right? Who actually encouraged widow remarriage act. So the options are Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Jyotirao Phule, Vishnu Shastri Pandit, and Pandita Ramabai. So here, number C is the correct option. Vishnu Shastri Pandit was the one who actually was a social reformer who encouraged the Widow Remarriage Act. Like, why the women have to suffer always, right? Why they have to do sati? If they are widow, they also have the right to get married. So he encouraged this act actually for the women's, right? And you know Bal Gangadhar Tilak, right? He was also a freedom fighter. Jyotiba Phule was also a social reformer. Even Pandita Ramabai was also a social reformer, right? The next question is, who among the following introduced the permanent settlement in Bengal 1793. So at that time, the Britishers came as a traders, right? They were like, they went to the countryside. So countryside, they thought that if we capture the countryside more, they went to Bengal. Okay, then they thought that we can, dominate these people more prominently. So the peasants have to suffer. As you know, every time the peasants have to suffer. The peasants were the sufferers of every, you can say every age of history, every part of history, right? So here, permanent settlement was being imposed by one person. And that person, actually, what is permanent settlement? So now, the peasants, they do agriculture, okay, after harvesting. In that process, how much profit they get, they have to give, if you can say 50% or 25% of revenue to the Britishers. Fine, they have to give, and this revenue is fixed. 50% is 50%, 25% is 25%. It will not change. But the Britishers, later it was been cancelled or it was been stopped because they thought that sometimes they have very good harvest. And due to good harvest, what happens? Sometimes they only give fixed amount and they get all the utilization, they get all the money, and due to bad harvest sometimes they could not pay the amount, right? So this was introduced by the Britishers, but later it was banned, or it was called off. So let's see who was the person who started this permanent settlement. The options are Lord Cornwallis, Lord Ripon, Robert Clive, and John Adams. So here the correct answer will be Lord Cornwallis. Okay, Lord Cornwallis actually started or introduced the permanent settlement in Bengal in 1793 against whom? Peasants, right? They have to get a fixed amount of revenue, right? And these are all the governor generals or viceroy of India at that time. Okay. Okay, now let's proceed to the next question. The next question is Revolt of 1857. As I told you, Revolt of 1857 is also known as the War of Independence. Why it was called as the War of Independence? Because the Indian first actually came out, the sepoys, the armies, the Indian armies and sepoys first came out to do what? To fight against the Britishers. Actually, in Revolt of 1857 was a rumor. Okay, was a rumor that started. That the rumor was that, means earlier the Indian soldiers or the Muslim, Indian soldiers, the Hindus and Muslim both, they have to join the British army, right? But the cartridges, the guns which they use, the cartridges they have to open with their mouth, and they believe that the gunpowder which has been there, it is a mixture of it is made with a mixture of pig fat and beef fat. So obviously Indian people, they have to open with their mouth. So it was their sentiment was heated at that particular time. So this rumor was spread, and they were like, we're fighting for the Britishers, and the Britishers are doing this to us. So their sentiment actually was hard. They are very much hard. Okay. So what happened for that? They started the movement and it became wide, but later they were suppressed by the Britishers, right? So now let's see a question on the basis of 1857 revolt. Which of the following statement about the first act of the revolt of 1857 are true? It occurred in Meerut when two sepoys stole a superior officer's rifle. It began with the Rani of Jhansi declared war on the British. It began with Mangal Pandey fired at a European officer in Meerut. Then it began when Mangal Pandey fired at a European officer in Barakpur. So what will be the first option? Correct option. So here the options are given: 2 only, 1, 2 and 3 only, 4 only, 1 and 4 only. So here the correct option will be number C, that is number 4. So it began when Mangal Pandey fired an European officer in Barakpur, and for that he was hanged. Okay, for that he was hanged and he lost his life for the for the people of India, right? Yeah. Next question is, okay, this question, okay, a medieval history question came actually here. Let's see. Which of the following painter was not visited by Humayun? So Humayun was very much fond for painting, okay, in his empire. Remember that he is fond for painting. So question, if that kind of question comes, then you will come to know Humayun was very much, fond of painting. So he used to, bring all the beautiful painters, brilliant painters from different places, okay. So here what has been asked, which is not associated, which was not a painter of Humayun's period or range. So let's see the answer. Mir Shayad Ali, Maulana Dost Musafir, Maulana Yusuf or Bizet. The answer which is correct is Bizet. Okay, Bizet was not actually was a painter in his particular time or particular court. He is referred to, or he is related to Timurid region, Timur's range. Okay, here. Okay, next question. Who among the following founded the Marathi newspaper Kesari? So here, as you can see the question, it is a very important question. Newspapers, who are the people, who are the leaders actually who have founded this newspaper is very important. So you have to focus on the newspapers, who was the person who have founded the magazines or newspaper. You have to go through that particular topic very nicely, fine? So here, who actually was the person who founded the Marathi newspaper Kesari? The options here are Lokmanya Tilak, Vallabhbhai Patel, Lala Lajpat Rai and Mahatma Gandhi. So obviously, I think you all know this question. So the answer will be Lokmanya Tilak, which is also called as Bal Gangadhar Tilak. He was called as a Lokmanya Tilak because he used to do so much for the people. That's why he got the name or the title Lokmanya Tilak. Fine. So that is the particular answer of this particular question. So you can see now, you can analyze what type of questions come from modern India, right? So you have to focus on those topics more. It will become easier for you, right? But yes, you have to understand the concept. History is basically understanding the concept. If you understand the concept, whatever question comes, you can analyze and you can answer the question very nicely, right? So as I am repeating the things, you are doing hard work, right? With the hard work, you have to do what? Smart work. How you will do the smart work? Obviously with the previous year question papers. So it is a bit it is actually the main source of your studies, fine? So we have seen so many 25 questions we have seen from each of the part of history. So from here we come to know which part is much more important and which part you should focus more. What type of question come, now you can analyze and analyze those question, and you can write topic wise, you can write those topics, and you can answer the question very prominently, whatever question comes in your exam, right? So now few more questions are there. Let's talk about that also. So here, which one among the following was not a provision of the Regulating Act of 1773? Have you noticed one thing? Here in the question, mostly the not is there. Right? They don't ask you that this particular thing is this or not. They ask you this particular thing actually belong to this or not. Right? They are asking not in most of the question. So here it is about the Regulating Act. As I told you before, when the Britishers came, when they established their control, they started with some acts, with some, what you can say, planning, with some different laws they have made. So among them, one Regulating Act was made, and this Regulating Act was made to look after the East India Company's function that was they are doing in Indian with the Indian people. So this act was issued to see that the East India Company, how the East India Company was supervising. They came as a trader, they occupied as a trader, what they are doing as a trader, how they are dominating or how they are working with the Indians. For that, this actually act was being imposed. So let's see, it introduced parliamentary supervision over the East India Company. As I told you now, so this option is correct. So this is not the correct option. The government of Bengal was vested as in a Governor General in the Council of 4 members. It is correct. The governor, very important point, the Governor of Bengal was vested as what was changed to Governor General, the name Governor General. And you also will have 4 council of members with him now. It is also correct option of this particular Regulating Act. So this is not the answer, as it is have ups, not, right? It changed the power of vote in court of proprietors by removing all restriction on qualification. Okay, let's leave this and see the next point. The Governor General was vested as a casting vote. It is correct, okay? Yeah. So here, the answer which is correct of this particular question is number C. Number C is correct. It changed the power of votes in the court of proprietors by removing all restriction on qualification is wrong. They did not did that. Okay, they did not did that. So the correct option of this particular question will be number C. Fine here? Yeah. So one more thing you came to know that from this particular modern India, you need to focus on what? The acts, the laws which has been made by the Britishers. Fine? Clear? Okay, next question is which one among the following is not a true of Brahmo Samaj? Okay, so Brahmo Samaj, a Samaj was been established. So this Brahmo Samaj, what are the things which, see again not came, can you see again not came, which is not the characteristics of this Brahmo Samaj is being asked. So first, it consider Vedic scripture as infallible. Second, it opposes idolatry. It emphasizes the worship of one God. It emphasizes the worship of God without the medication of priest. So these three options are correct, and this option is wrong. The first option is what? It consider Veda scripture as infallible. Infallible means nothing is wrong over there. No, they did not accept it. That they believe in what? They believe in worshipping only one God, and to worship that one God, you just need to be there with God. You don't need any priest. Okay, you did, and they oppose idolatry. Yes, they did not they did not wanted an idol. They believe in soul to soul connection with the God. Okay, so here the correct option is number A. This is the not characteristics of Brahmo Samaj. Here, yeah. So then proceed to the next question. Okay, last question, I guess. This is, consider the following statements. In the 19th century, peasants in various parts of India rose in revolt against moneylenders and grain dealers. In May 1875, at village Supa in Pune district in the Bombay Deccan, peasants attacked shopkeepers, burned the Bahi Khatas, account books, looted grain shops, and set fires in the house of shockers. Okay, so here what happened? A revolt happened in where? Bombay. Okay, in Deccan area, so Bombay Deccan, a revolt happened, and this revolt actually was laid against the moneylenders by whom? By the peasants. So the peasants actually was not paid enough. Their wages are very low. They have to give revenue to the moneylenders, and they did not had a very good life. Okay, means as I told you, peasants always have to suffer. So the peasants laid an attack on whom? The moneylenders. They attacked the moneylenders' market. They went their houses also. They burned the houses, the markets, and also they have burned the Bahi Khatas, means the record book of the people, of the shockers, right? So they have to go away from that particular place, and they have to they were totally in fear of the peasants. So that incident happened, and with these two options, we can see these two options are correct, right? As these two options are correct, let's see the by seeing the statement, let's see what are the options given. Number 1, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 and 2. So here you can see number C is the correct option. So here both the things which is been given, both the statement which has been given is correct. Okay, so here I'll end the session today. So I just hope you got a gist of idea of history, what actually from every part of, from ancient, medieval, modern, what type of question comes. So I just hope this session is very much helpful for you. You will come to know that yes, with the hard work I need to do the smart work, and smart work, how you will do the smart work? By analyzing the question papers. Now you came to know what type of question comes and which topic you need to focus on more, right? So with that, you will understand, your understanding level and knowledge of every topic will be much more higher now, and it will be easier for you to crack your exam by doing regular practice of the PYQs. Thank you so much.